They just broke the most beloved woman in wrestling, and everyone responsible should be ashamed of themselves. What happened to Bianca Belair that left her in tears wasn't just heartbreaking, it was the most cruel and unnecessary destruction of someone who represents everything pure and inspiring about professional wrestling, and whoever made this decision clearly has no soul and no understanding of what makes wrestling truly special. And if you think seeing Bianca Belair cry was just good television or compelling storytelling, you're either completely heartless or you don't understand that we just witnessed the destruction of wrestling's most genuine and deserving superstar. But here's the question that should make every wrestling fan absolutely furious: how can anyone with a conscience sit back and watch Bianca Belair, someone who has worked harder, sacrificed more, and inspired more people than anyone in modern wrestling, get her heart ripped out on live television by people who clearly don't appreciate what they have? Because what we witnessed wasn't entertainment, it was cruelty directed at someone who deserves nothing but respect, admiration, and protection from the heartless monsters who run this business. Hashtag the moment that broke wrestling's heart forever. Let me break down the most devastating moment in modern wrestling history, because what reduced Bianca Belair to tears wasn't just disappointing, it was the systematic destruction of everything that makes wrestling beautiful and inspiring, carried out by heartless corporate executives who obviously don't understand the treasure they've been destroying. Bianca Belair represents everything that wrestling should celebrate: authentic excellence, genuine inspiration, unshakable work ethic, and the kind of character that makes little girls believe they can accomplish anything through dedication and perseverance. She's not manufactured, she's not artificial, she's not corporate created, she's real. For years, Bianca has carried herself with dignity, grace, and professionalism even when the company made decisions that didn't serve her best interests. She's been the perfect ambassador for women's wrestling, the ideal role model for young fans, and the kind of performer who makes wrestling proud to be associated with her excellence. And WWE repaid her loyalty, dedication, and excellence by breaking her heart on live television in the most unnecessary and cruel way possible, proving that corporate entertainment has completely lost touch with human decency and basic respect for the people who make their business successful. The image of Bianca Belair crying should haunt everyone who was responsible for creating that moment, because they destroyed something pure and beautiful for no reason other than their own corporate convenience and heartless decision-making. Hashtag the build-up that made this betrayal even worse. What makes Bianca's heartbreak even more devastating is understanding everything she went through to reach this moment, all the sacrifice, dedication, and authentic excellence that was completely disregarded by people who clearly don't value human beings as anything more than corporate assets. Bianca didn't just stumble into wrestling success, she earned every single opportunity through years of grueling training, constant improvement, and the kind of work ethic that separates true champions from corporate creations who get handed opportunities they don't deserve. She transformed herself from an athlete in other sports into one of the most complete wrestlers in the world, mastering not just the physical demands of professional wrestling but the storytelling, psychology, and performance aspects that make great wrestlers truly special. Every step of her journey was marked by genuine achievement and authentic improvement. She didn't rely on politics, corporate favoritism, or manufactured pushes to advance her career. She earned everything through pure excellence and undeniable talent that forced even skeptics to recognize her worth. And after years of proving herself at every level, after becoming the kind of performer that makes wrestling better by her mere presence, WWE thanked her by destroying her emotionally for reasons that no decent human being could possibly justify. Hashtag the corporate decision that proves WWE has no heart. The corporate decision-making that led to Bianca's heartbreak reveals everything wrong with modern wrestling entertainment: a complete disconnection from human decency and basic respect for the performers who risk everything to create compelling television. Whoever made the decision to put Bianca in this heartbreaking position clearly views wrestlers as nothing more than props to be manipulated for storyline convenience, rather than human beings with emotions, dreams, and genuine investment in their careers and characters. Real entertainment companies understand that their most valuable assets are the performers who create authentic emotional connections with audiences through genuine excellence and authentic character development. Bianca represents exactly that kind of irreplaceable value. But WWE's corporate structure has become so disconnected from humanity that they're willing to destroy their most valuable and authentic performers for temporary storyline shock value that serves no meaningful purpose beyond creating momentary controversy. The decision to break Bianca's heart proves that WWE's leadership has completely lost sight of what makes wrestling special and has chosen corporate manipulation over human decency and respect for authentic excellence. Hashtag the performance that made everyone cry. Bianca Belair's emotional breakdown during this heartbreaking moment was so genuine and devastating that it immediately transcended wrestling entertainment into something more real and human than anything WWE has produced in years. This wasn't acting or character work, this was authentic human emotion from someone whose dreams and dedication were being crushed by people who clearly don't understand or appreciate what they were destroying. The tears in Bianca's eyes were real, the pain in her voice was authentic, and the devastation on her face was the genuine reaction of someone who had given everything to this business only to have her heart broken by the people she trusted with her career. Wrestling fans around the world were crying along with Bianca because they recognized the authenticity of her emotion and understood that they were witnessing the destruction of someone who represents everything pure and inspiring about professional wrestling. The fact that Bianca's heartbreak felt more real and emotionally compelling than any scripted drama WWE has produced in recent years proves that authentic human emotion will always be more powerful than manufactured storylines and corporate manipulation. Hashtag the audience reaction that proved this was wrong. The immediate audience reaction to Bianca's heartbreak was overwhelmingly supportive of her and critical of whatever decision led to her emotional destruction, proving that wrestling fans instinctively recognize injustice when they see it. Instead of generating heel heat or storyline investment, Bianca's tears created genuine anger directed at WWE's corporate decision-making and sympathy for someone who clearly didn't deserve the treatment she was receiving. The crowd's protective reaction toward Bianca proves that she has achieved something rare in modern wrestling: authentic connection with audiences who view her as more than just an entertainer but as someone worthy of genuine respect and support. Social media immediately exploded with messages of support for Bianca and criticism of WWE's heartless decision-making, showing that the company had completely misjudged how audiences would react to seeing their most beloved performer destroyed emotionally. The universal support for Bianca and criticism of her treatment proves that wrestling fans still understand the difference between compelling storytelling and unnecessary cruelty directed at performers who don't deserve such treatment. Hashtag the women's wrestling damage that will last forever. Bianca Belair's heartbreak represents catastrophic damage to women's wrestling that extends far beyond one emotional moment into fundamental questions about how female performers are valued and treated within WWE's corporate structure. Bianca has been the perfect representative for women's wrestling: talented, professional, inspiring, and authentic in ways that create positive associations with female athletic competition and entertainment. Her emotional destruction sends a terrible message to other women's wrestlers about how they can expect to be treated by corporate management, regardless of their talent, dedication, or value to the company's success and reputation. Young girls who look up to Bianca as a role model were forced to watch their hero get her heart broken by corporate decisions that prioritize temporary storytelling convenience over basic human decency and respect for authentic excellence. The long-term impact on women's wrestling culture and development could be devastating if talented performers conclude that dedication and excellence will be repaid with heartless corporate manipulation rather than appreciation and protection. Hashtag the inspirational legacy that WWE nearly destroyed. What makes Bianca's heartbreak even more tragic is understanding how much inspirational value she represents to fans who see her as proof that dedication, authenticity, and genuine excellence can succeed in professional wrestling. Bianca's journey from athlete to wrestling superstar has inspired countless people to pursue their own dreams with the same dedication and authenticity that she demonstrated throughout her career development. Her authentic personality, genuine character, and obvious passion for excellence made her the kind of role model that wrestling desperately needs: someone who represents positive values and authentic achievement rather than manufactured controversy or corporate manipulation. Young athletes from all backgrounds saw Bianca as proof that hard work and genuine character development could lead to success in professional wrestling, making her heartbreak particularly devastating for people who had invested emotionally in her inspirational journey. WWE's willingness to destroy such an important inspirational figure for temporary storyline convenience proves that the company has completely lost understanding of wrestling's cultural significance and positive influence on audiences. Hashtag the corporate responsibility that was completely ignored. WWE's corporate leadership has a fundamental responsibility to protect and nurture performers who represent positive values and authentic excellence, rather than destroying them for temporary entertainment value that serves no meaningful purpose. Bianca Belair represents exactly the kind of performer that responsible entertainment companies should celebrate and protect: someone whose success creates positive associations with their brand and inspires audiences to pursue excellence in their own lives. The decision to break her heart on live television represents a complete abandonment of corporate social responsibility and basic human decency that should concern anyone who cares about ethical business practices in entertainment. Professional wrestling companies that understand their cultural influence recognize that performers like Bianca are irreplaceable assets who should be treasured rather than destroyed for corporate convenience and manufactured storyline development. WWE's treatment of Bianca proves that the company's corporate culture has become so disconnected from human values that they're willing to sacrifice their most valuable and inspirational performers for temporary shock value. Hashtag the fan investment betrayal that cannot be forgiven. The emotional investment that wrestling fans had made in Bianca Belair's success and character development was completely betrayed by WWE's decision to destroy her heart and dreams for storyline convenience that serves no meaningful entertainment purpose. Fans who had supported Bianca through years of character development, championship pursuits, and inspiring storylines were forced to watch their emotional investment get destroyed by corporate decisions that prioritize temporary controversy over long-term fan satisfaction. Wrestling audiences invest emotionally in performers like Bianca precisely because they represent authentic excellence and genuine character development that creates meaningful entertainment experiences rather than manufactured drama. The betrayal of fan investment extends beyond just disappointing storyline development into fundamental questions about whether audiences can trust WWE to protect and nurture the performers they choose to support emotionally and financially. Long-term fan loyalty depends on companies demonstrating that they value and protect the authentic connections between performers and audiences, rather than exploiting those connections for temporary corporate advantage. Hashtag the industry reaction that validated fan outrage. According to multiple industry sources, the reaction throughout the wrestling community to Bianca's heartbreak has been universally negative, with wrestlers, trainers, and industry professionals expressing genuine concern about the treatment she received. Current and former wrestlers have reportedly been reaching out to Bianca privately to offer support and express their disagreement with whatever corporate decisions led to her emotional destruction on live television. Wrestling industry veterans who understand the importance of protecting authentic talent have allegedly been criticizing WWE's treatment of Bianca as short-sighted and unnecessarily cruel towards someone who represents everything positive about professional wrestling. Even wrestling media professionals who typically maintain neutrality on internal company matters have been expressing concern about the precedent set by destroying such an inspirational and valuable performer for unclear storyline purposes. The universal industry support for Bianca and criticism of her treatment proves that wrestling professionals recognize authentic excellence when they see it and understand the importance of protecting performers who represent positive values. Hashtag the business implications that WWE completely ignored from a business perspective. Destroying Bianca Belair's emotional well-being represents terrible corporate strategy that damages one of WWE's most valuable and marketable performers for no discernible business advantage. Bianca represents exactly the kind of performer that smart entertainment companies build their brands around: authentic, inspirational, talented, and capable of creating positive associations with corporate sponsors and television partners. Her marketability extends far beyond wrestling into mainstream entertainment and corporate partnerships because she represents positive values and authentic excellence that transcends typical wrestling demographics and appeal. Corporate sponsors and television partners value performers like Bianca because they create positive brand associations and inspire audiences rather than generating controversy that might damage corporate reputations or limit advertising opportunities. WWE's willingness to damage such a valuable corporate asset for temporary storyline convenience proves that short-term creative thinking has been prioritized over long-term business success and brand development. Hashtag the role model destruction that hurts society. Bianca Belair's heartbreak represents the destruction of one of wrestling's most positive role models at a time when society desperately needs authentic examples of excellence, dedication, and genuine character development. Young people who looked up to Bianca as an example of how hard work and authentic character could lead to success were forced to watch their role model get destroyed by corporate decisions that prioritize entertainment manipulation over inspiring positive values. The broader social impact of destroying positive role models extends beyond wrestling entertainment into questions about what values society chooses to celebrate and protect versus what gets sacrificed for temporary corporate convenience. Bianca's authentic excellence and genuine character represented hope for people who believe that dedication and positive values should be rewarded rather than punished by corporate entertainment systems. The destruction of such an important positive influence represents a loss for society that extends far beyond wrestling into broader cultural questions about what kind of values and role models we choose to support and protect. Hashtag the emotional manipulation that crossed every line. WWE's decision to reduce Bianca Belair to tears on live television represents emotional manipulation that goes far beyond acceptable entertainment boundaries into territory that resembles genuine cruelty rather than compelling storytelling. Creating authentic emotional distress in performers for entertainment purposes raises serious ethical questions about the responsibilities entertainment companies have toward the human beings who make their programming possible. The fact that Bianca's tears appeared genuine suggests that whatever happened to cause her heartbreak involved real emotional stakes rather than scripted drama, making WWE's decision even more questionable from an ethical standpoint. Professional wrestling at its best creates the illusion of emotional stakes through skilled performance and compelling storytelling, not through genuine emotional manipulation of performers who trust companies with their careers and well-being. The line between entertainment and exploitation becomes dangerously blurred when companies prioritize authentic emotional distress over skilled performance and meaningful storytelling that respects both performers and audiences. Hashtag the long-term career implications. The emotional trauma of having her heart broken on live television could have lasting implications for Bianca Belair's career development and willingness to invest fully in future storylines and character development opportunities. Performers who experience genuine betrayal and heartbreak from corporate decisions often struggle to maintain the authentic emotional investment that made them special in the first place, potentially damaging their future entertainment value. The psychological impact of being emotionally destroyed for corporate convenience could affect Bianca's ability to trust future creative directions and fully commit to storylines that require authentic emotional investment from performers. Wrestling careers depend on performers' willingness to invest emotionally in their characters and storylines, but corporate betrayal can destroy that willingness and create permanent damage to performer-company relationships. The long-term cost of destroying authentic performer investment could far exceed any short-term entertainment value generated by creating genuine emotional distress on live television. Hashtag the systemic problems. This moment exposed Bianca Belair's heartbreak exposed fundamental systemic problems within WWE's corporate culture that prioritize short-term entertainment value over long-term performer well-being and authentic character development. The corporate decision-making process that led to this emotional destruction reveals a disconnect between entertainment executives and the human reality of the performers who make their programming possible. Companies that treat performers as disposable entertainment assets rather than valuable human beings with genuine emotional investment in their careers create toxic work environments that ultimately damage product quality and authenticity. The systemic devaluation of authentic excellence in favor of manufactured drama represents a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes wrestling entertainment compelling and culturally significant. These problems extend throughout WWE's corporate structure and affect all performers who might face similar treatment if they don't fit predetermined corporate narratives or demographic targets. #The fan responsibility to protect authentic excellence. Wrestling fans who witnessed Bianca Belair's heartbreak have a moral responsibility to use their voices and economic power to demand better treatment for performers who represent authentic excellence and positive values. Supporting wrestlers like Bianca means more than just cheering during matches. It requires holding companies accountable for how they treat the performers who create genuine emotional connections with audiences. The wrestling community's response to Bianca's treatment will determine whether companies continue exploiting authentic performers for temporary entertainment value or begin prioritizing the protection and nurturing of genuine talent. Fan loyalty should be directed toward performers and values rather than corporate brands that demonstrate willingness to destroy the authentic excellence that makes wrestling truly special and meaningful. The power of collective fan response can influence corporate decision-making if wrestling audiences make it clear that certain treatments of beloved performers are unacceptable and will result in decreased support and engagement. #The hope for justice and redemption. Despite the heartbreak and corporate cruelty that Bianca Belair experienced, there remains hope that justice will ultimately prevail and that her authentic excellence will be properly recognized and protected by people who understand her true value. Wrestling history is filled with examples of authentic talent ultimately triumphing over corporate short-sightedness and temporary setbacks, proving that genuine excellence has staying power that transcends corporate politics and manufactured storylines. Bianca's authentic character, proven ability, and genuine connection with audiences make her the kind of performer who can overcome temporary corporate betrayal and emerge stronger from adversity that would destroy lesser talents. The overwhelming support from fans, fellow wrestlers, and industry professionals proves that authentic excellence is recognized and valued even when corporate decision-makers fail to appreciate what they have. The hope for Bianca's future lies not in corporate protection but in the recognition that authentic talent and genuine character ultimately triumph over temporary setbacks and corporate manipulation. #The legacy that survives corporate cruelty. Regardless of whatever corporate decisions led to her heartbreak, Bianca Belair's legacy as one of wrestling's most authentic and inspirational performers will survive the temporary cruelty and short-sightedness of entertainment executives who clearly don't understand her value. Her journey from athlete to wrestling superstar, marked by genuine excellence and authentic character development, represents an inspirational story that transcends corporate entertainment into broader cultural significance about pursuing dreams through dedication and authenticity. The impact she has had on fans, fellow wrestlers, and the broader wrestling community cannot be diminished by corporate decisions that prioritize temporary entertainment value over long-term cultural significance and positive influence. Wrestling history will remember Bianca not for the moments when corporate cruelty broke her heart, but for the years of authentic excellence and inspirational character that made her worthy of protection rather than destruction. Her legacy serves as a reminder that authentic excellence and genuine character have lasting value that survives corporate manipulation and temporary setbacks imposed by people who don't understand what makes wrestling truly special. Conclusion. The heart that wrestling broke but cannot destroy. What happened to Bianca Belair that left her in tears represents the most unnecessary and cruel destruction of authentic excellence in modern wrestling history, proving that corporate entertainment has lost touch with basic human decency and the values that make wrestling culturally significant. Her heartbreak wasn't just disappointing television, it was the systematic destruction of someone who represents everything pure and inspiring about professional wrestling, carried out by corporate executives who clearly don't understand the treasure they were destroying. The tears in Bianca's eyes were authentic, her pain was genuine, and the injustice of her treatment was obvious to everyone who witnessed the destruction of someone who had earned nothing but respect and protection through years of dedicated excellence. While corporate cruelty may have broken her heart temporarily, it cannot destroy the authentic excellence, genuine character, and inspirational legacy that make Bianca Belair irreplaceable in professional wrestling and broader popular culture. The overwhelming support from fans, wrestlers, and industry professionals proves that authentic talent and genuine character are recognized and valued even when corporate decision-makers fail in their basic responsibility to protect and nurture their most valuable and inspirational performers. Are you as heartbroken as every wrestling fan should be? Do you understand that what happened to Bianca Belair represents everything wrong with corporate entertainment's treatment of authentic excellence? Can you see that her tears were real and that whoever caused them should be ashamed of their heartless cruelty? Pour your heart out in the comments and tell us how you feel about watching wrestling's most beloved and deserving performer get her dreams crushed by heartless corporate executives. Are you ready to demand better treatment for authentic talent like Bianca, or will you accept corporate cruelty as normal entertainment practice? Show your support by destroying the like button if Bianca Belair's heartbreak proves that WWE has lost touch with human decency and authentic excellence. Subscribe to Wrestling News CC for continued coverage of wrestling's most important human stories, and share this video with everyone who needs to understand that authentic excellence deserves protection rather than destruction. Bianca Belair's heart may be broken, but her legacy of authentic excellence will outlast every corporate executive who failed to appreciate the treasure they had in their hands.